The Klipriver River, which cuts through the township into the Vaal, has been found to be polluted with alarming levels of cancer-causing chemicals. Now, a study conducted by the University of Johannesburg has flagged risks to communities, livestock, as well as the ecosystem. Nqobile Madlala joins us live then with more of those details. Nqobile, we're talking about a massively significant water source here. Klipriver feeds into the Vaal, which ultimately feeds into a large proportion of the country's water sources. This is massive.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's a great concern because the question is, can you end up with those cancer-causing chemicals in your tap? And of course, I've got a professor that's going to explain that to us. But whilst he does, you will note just behind us, we've got Samuel. Samuel is the man that actually did this study, and he's currently showing us, demonstrating to us how they actually got some of those tests that they were doing. And you'll see that he is currently inside the river and is trying to get those samples that they will use and was used, of course, in the lab to ensure that they're able to get the right study. But I want to now bring in the professor to speak to us about this. Professor, this is eye-opening, really. Chemicals, cancer-causing chemicals, a great concern. Can I end up with those cancer-causing chemicals in my tap?
Good morning, Nqobile, and good morning to your viewers. Thank you very much for having me. We did a study in this Klipriver over 2 seasons, dry and wet season, particularly monitoring polyatomic aromatic organic compounds, which are polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which contain 2 or more fused aromatic rings, which have been monitored in sediment samples and water samples. So what unique about our research is we expose these sediment samples in the laboratory to check its effect on human health by using zebrafish embryo test. And the zebrafish embryo test showed lack of hatching rate, effect on heart, effect on blood flow, and high rate of mortality. So this water, which is Klipriver, is a tributary to Vaal River, and this water feeds to Vaal River. So to answer your question, it depends on the efficiency of the treatment system. What we have done is we have done analysis of these polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons in water samples and sediment samples over 2 seasons from Klipriver. We haven't checked the final tap water, so it depends on the efficiency of the treatment system, and that will be maybe the next research to be considered to check the quality of water, whether these organic compounds, cancer-causing compounds, are ending up in tap water or not.
And of course, we saw just recently all stakeholders talking about the water of the country, the importance of that. And we already know that we're a water scarce country. Now, when we have things like this, which is cancer-causing chemicals, one would think that this then will be introduced to those stakeholders. Have you brought the study into water and sanitation, for example, to tell them about what is taking place here?
Yes, of course. As you have said, South Africa is one of the water scarce countries, and it becomes very bad when the limited water resource, we have physical scarcity of water, and when these limited resources are being polluted, that is very concerning. And this research is funded by Water Research Commission, as well as National Research Foundation. So we always submit reports to Water Research Commission, but relevant bodies like Department of Water and Sanitation, Department of Environmental Affairs should give more focus in managing waste, particularly inadequate waste management is causing this type of pollution. So appropriate waste management is really what we are calling for.
All right. And does that mean that you have then spoken to the officials that can fix this? And I'm going to ask you to come closer, Professor, so that we are able to see what Samuel is doing behind you. But have you then noted this to the relevant authorities?
No, we haven't spoken to them. What I'm saying is the research which is done in my group is funded by Water Research Commission and National Research Foundation. They are interested in monitoring these polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons along with wide range of toxic chemical species like heavy metals and the different chemical species from those heavy metals which end up in water, in vegetables, and in other organic materials. So we have been doing that research, but they are the one who are funding. The relevant authorities, I think they should pay more attention on managing this waste in future, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Professor. And again, that is taking place right behind us, Nqobile. This is Samuel. He is the guy that did the study, and he was collecting the sediments that we're speaking about, and we are going to show you now on TV what is collected from the bed of the river. Samuel, can you show us what you've got there? So this is what he's found currently in the river, and I'm going to ask you to just show like that so that we can see it.
Oh, this is a sediment sample?
Yeah, show the inside of it for us. Yes. And what is this?
This is a sediment sample, contaminated one, hence you see them in this black color. So we collect these samples on the river, yes, and then we also collect the water samples. And then we take them to the laboratory, and then we test for the existence of environmental contaminants.
All right. Samuel, why is the water looking black? Is that the reason, because it's contaminated?
Yes, because the sediments, they act as contaminant reservoir. So basically the water, the sediments, the contaminants get through the water, then they get to be trapped in the sediments, right? Hence they change the sediment color to this black. So this is the reservoir of contaminants.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. So, very important information coming out of the Nqobile. We've got what he calls contaminated water, as well as the sand that he has found from the bed of the river. And of course, this is the core of the study. This is what they used to study and show that there is these cancer-causing chemicals that could potentially end in your home. That's, of course, if the water treatment plant does not work correctly, and that's what we have heard from the professor that is also overseeing that study. And of course, we are going to continue to find out from the communities as well here if they are aware that this is happening, especially if they've got livestock.
Nqobile, up next, we do have the Director General at the Department of Water and Sanitation, actually, so that's going to be an interesting conversation to actually get through to them as well. Thank you for that reporting there.